Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar brought to you by Bursa Malaysia and managed by our company LifeChamp. The webinar title today is Overview of Sharia Discretionary Trading. My name is Shen Chu. I'm the host and moderator for this session. Now, I'm sure many of you here will be asking, what exactly is Sharia Discretionary Trading? So today, our speaker will review to you what is this all about and how you can participate in this. Now, before I begin, as usual, disclaimer, whatever we share in this session is only for educational purpose. In no way that we give any recommendation for you to buy or sell any listed securities that we mentioned here. If you decide to make any investment decision, you're 100% responsible for all your investment risk. Now, it gives me great honor to introduce our speaker today. He is a graduate of mechanical engineering from University Tenaga Nasional, and he has been in the engineering field for almost 15 years, from automotive to oil and gas industry. Now, he started his trading journey in 2014 when almost being terminated from job as mechanical engineer due to oil price crash when no other viable short-term alternative was present. So study the market through assistance by his own remiser and trader friends, and later in 2017, he decided to become a remiser with Malacca Securities after having familiarized with the market. So in 2018, he got his professional certification as a certified technical analyst and continued to spread information and knowledge about technical analysis and chart reading to the public. He was recently approved to start discretionary trading. So he is the best person from Malacca Securities to talk about discretionary trading. So he's none other than Mr. Kamarul Nizam. So how are you today, Kamarul?
Feeling very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Shane.
Fantastic. So we can't wait to learn from you about discretionary trading and as well as Sharia discretionary trading. What are the difference between conventional and Sharia? So right, over to you, sir.
Okay, so very good evening. Assalamualaikum to all participants tonight. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. And then for tonight, basically, I'm your speaker today. We'll be talking about discretionary trading. So actually, what is a discretionary trading? Okay, so roughly, we all know that when we open up an account for investing or trading, right? So we open up with a reminder that we know or we're familiar with. We usually would be trying to ask him whether he can trade on our behalf or not, right? So basically, reminders cannot actually trade on behalf of clients. So that's one thing that is against the regulation. Okay, so what they can do is actually open up another account, and then based on that account, reminder can trade on their behalf. Okay, but reminders actually they cannot trade a client's direct account, meaning that you gave the username or password to the reminder, or maybe the reminder is basically using their own system to trade, to buy and sell on your behalf without acknowledging you. Okay, so that's basically is against the law. Okay,
Yep.
but anyway,
You have any slide you want to put up?
yes. So let me open up my slides.
Yes. Fantastic.
Okay, I guess you guys can see my screen now.
Yes, perfect.
So yeah, this is basically an introduction. Okay, so this is actually when you ask a reminder to trade on your behalf, it's actually called the discretionary trading. Okay, but discretionary trading cannot be done through your own personal direct CDS account, because it's actually it's entitled for you guys based on the agreement and all the forms and what you sign with Bursa. The account must be solely operated by you. So that's basically the bottom line. Okay, so come to discretionary trading services. It is a broker's side of a product. Basically, it's a product that you can subscribe from the broker. Okay, so it depends on the broker whether they have a discretionary trading services or not. But basically, this one's been introduced by Bursa in long ago, 2018. They have this framework. And then when in 2022 in May, that's when they introduced the Sharia discretionary trading. So basically, before this, we have just a general conventional type of discretionary trading. And now, 2 years ago, we have Bursa actually introduced a framework for Sharia discretionary trading. Okay. So a few months after that, actually, Malacca Securities is actually introduced a discretionary trading, Sharia discretionary trading to the public. So basically, we are carrying on from that platform lah. Okay, so a discretionary trading overall, basically, what you have to do after you sign up with the broker, based on the what platform or what discretionary trading program that you want, which reminder is running it or which team is running it. So once you subscribe, you sign the agreement and everything, you have a proper discretionary trading account, a nominees account. Okay, so this account, this nominees account is actually owned by the broker under you as the client. Okay, so you have to separately deposit your money into the nominees account. Okay, so usually the deposit channel or account will be the same, but you need to update through a different channel. Okay. So based on the slides here, basically Malacca Securities already have launched Shariah DT in June. Okay. And then SC together with Bursa actually encourage and empower all the remiser now to open up their own discretionary trading programs. Okay. So doesn't matter whether you are with a Maybank or whatever broker that you engage with, you can always refer to the remisers whether they have a discretionary trading program or not. And then you need to actually check with the broker lah. Okay, so sometimes some people really just do their own discretionary trading without the broker's approval. So that's another problem. Okay, so that's a minimum basic requirement for all the remisers to do the DT discretionary trading program, which is this is one. A basic requirement is actually need to have a 5 years experience in the capital market. Okay. So like I said before, like I mentioned before, many clients actually have this special arrangement. Usually the old timer, maybe 40, 50 years old, 60 years old clients, they have this kind of arrangement with the old type of remiser. Okay. They have this, I believe this thing still going on, but you know, it's being carried out privately. Okay. Just very close relationship between the remiser and the clients lah. So, and this one, like I said before, this is illegal, okay, because there's no protection on the client side and also no protection on the remiser side, okay. So most of the time, probably there won't be any issues. But if, let's say, the client's actually reporting is not satisfied with the services, they can actually go to the authorities and report this activity because actually it's illegal. And then the authority basically will be siding with the client side, not the remiser side, because it's against the law. And then there will be repercussions from that lah. Okay, so as my advice, any remisers who want to do trade for their clients' behalf actually have to go through the brokers and on the discretionary trading programs. Okay. Okay, so now we are approaching the second slide. The second topic is actually the mechanism of the discretionary trading. Okay. So mechanism of Sharia discretionary trading, we're gonna have the first of all, it's not going to be your direct account CDS account. It's not going to be our direct CDS account. It's not going to be using the money in our direct CDS. Okay, so you guys have to open up a special nominees account which is under the broker's name. Okay, entitled on behalf of your name lah. Okay, and then this account is separate. So you need to deposit a separate amount of money into that account based on the agreement. Okay. And then with this separation, you don't have any mix up. So you can buy, sell your own account, and then the discretionary trading account manager will handle the DT account. Okay. So based on this, actually, you cannot influence or you cannot ask the remiser to buy and sell in the DT account. You can actually you can just discuss lah, maybe why you buy and things like that, but you cannot dictate anything based on that. Okay. You can ask remiser to buy certain stocks in your favor for your own direct CDS account, but not for the discretionary trading. Okay. So the limitation for this nominees account is actually you cannot apply for IPO. Okay. And then all the corporate exercises, they will be handled separately. So usually when you're entitled for bonus issues or you're entitled for dividends, they are directly go into your CDS account. Okay. But for nominees account, actually it goes to because this account is actually under the broker's name. So the broker actually going to handle the corporate exercises. So sometimes you have to pay certain amount of money, admin fees, to get the dividends or to get the corporate exercises, maybe bonus issues and whatnot. And sometimes maybe they just do it for free for you. Okay, it depends on the brokers. Okay, so one thing's for sure, when we have, based on the discretionary trading framework that we have, a Bursa issued by SC, if I'm not mistaken, there are a certain type of reporting that needs to be done. Okay, so on the broker side, basically they have to comply with all the regulations before they agree to be on board with the discretionary trading program. So they need to make sure all the reporting procedures, what type of report that they need to generate and then send to the broker, what stocks did you buy or sell, record all the transactions, and how many profits, the brokerage charges, everything they need to be recorded and sent to Bursa for reporting. Okay, so there are actually, I've gone through this 400 pages of DT framework, and they are very tedious. So it's actually on the broker side. So for me, doing the discretionary trading, I can just focus on my strategy and then let the broker do their reporting. Okay. So as of now, most of the DT arrangement is actually you have to sign up by hard copy. So they still need to have a physical signature signed on the form or agreement, a DT agreement, and in certain form you still need to have a physical signature. Okay. So the best way to do it is actually to go and meet up your remiser that runs the DT. All right. So there's a very distinct difference between the Sharia DT and conventional DT, which is for conventional DT, actually all instrument is allowed, or at the level of the broker, they have a certain presets. Maybe they not allow this DT to buy or sell structured warrants. Maybe they do not allow bonds purchases or something like that. Maybe they exclusively allow to buy ETF or something like that. So it depends on the broker side. Basically, is conventional DT, everything is under is on the table. So it depends on the broker. For Shariah DT, actually, the scope is much more limited, but it's only for Sharia instruments only. Okay, and then I'm talking about the ordinary shares, okay, not the warrants and stuff like that, because that's basically a bit more risky, but it depends on the discretionary trading program. If they allowed to trade warrants, then it's still considered okay. It depends on the program. Okay, so major differences is actually Sharia stocks versus the conventional stocks. All right. Okay, so we are the third topic is actually understanding the fee model of the Sharia discretionary trading setup. Okay. So for this, actually, based on the guideline or the framework that we have, Sharia DT actually allowed only two types of charges. Okay, so the first one is actually called the AUM, or the asset under management type of fee charges, and then the second one is actually a profit sharing. Okay, so based on this, there's only two types. So either you go with the asset under management or the profit sharing. And we do have other terms and conditions like the other fees related to the DT, which is sometimes certain broker implement an early termination penalty. Sometimes they implement admin charges because the nominees account actually do have administrative charges. Brokerage charges, of course, buy and sell, you need to pay the brokerage to the broker, but the rates actually may differ. So maybe you have a direct CDS account which offers certain percentage of brokerage and certain minimum. For a DT, it's actually depends on the program DT manager. Okay, so it could be I don't know, maybe 0.3, 0.1%, or maybe it could be minimum 50 ringgit, minimum 100 ringgit, depends. So once the program is actually approved by the broker, so they can market that or that they can they have to follow the guidelines what's been approved. Okay. So okay, for the AUM or the asset under management type of fee, is actually similar to unit trust and a typical fund management companies. It's the same basically. So we have an upfront sales charges and or we have annual fee based on the account balance. Okay, usually based on the account balance, it's either based on 12 months or the last balance, or maybe it could be a monthly balance. It depends because this one here is very flexible. So you need to check with the DT manager. Okay. So the rates could be 5%, 7%, 10%, whatever that they want to charge. There's no limits as far as I know. There's no minimum, there's no maximum. So it depends on the program itself. So we have here is actually a fee. Sorry, an example. Okay. So let's say we have the program says that we have a 5% of AUM fee, and this fee is being charged on a monthly basis. So we have about 0.42% annual fee or the charges basically per month, and they're going to charge based on the month end balance. So for the first month, actually you have 100,000 here. So they charge basically based on 100,000, which comes about 417 ringgit. Okay, so this one all exclude the other fees lah. Exclude the brokerage charges, exclude nominees account fees and whatnot. Okay, so the second one we gain about 3,000 ringgit. So end of the month they're going to charge 429. So this is basically a fee asset under management model. Okay, so either they can charge this way, or maybe they charge just based on the final balance of the or the starting balance for the next year. It depends on the broker. All right. So for this is just an example. So when the fee, when the balance goes down on a monthly basis, of course, when the balance goes down, let's say in August, so from 112,000, balance goes down. Let's say you have some losses, right? So it went down to 110,000, and then the AUM also drops. It's based on the monthly balance. Okay. So we have a second form of fee, which is called the profit sharing. So this one is a bit like straightforward lah. Okay, so if the requirement or the DT program says that we need to the profit sharing rate is actually 50-50 or maybe 30-70 or something like whatever percentage, it is being the profits being split to the clients, between the clients and also the broker. So the broker actually will be sharing with that amount with the remisers lah, or the DT manager. Okay, so once you achieve once you get a profit, so basically they're gonna split. Depends on the program itself, whether you want to withdraw every month or every quarter, or maybe half a year, 6 months, or maybe just at the end of the year. So you do the profit sharing, and then everyone will get the payment once a year, something like that. Okay. So one thing that we need to know actually for DT is actually all the losses being borne by the clients, And then specifically for the profit sharing model, if there are no profits, actually there's no income for the DT manager and so the broker lah. So there's no profits to share. So we can only share the profits when they have any profits. Okay, so that's one thing that probably people would like to approach this type of agreement or this type of profit fee preferred over the other type. Okay. Okay, here is an example. Okay, so a profit sharing type of fee. So we started out final end of the January with maybe 5,000 profits. Okay, so if let's say this program actually require or dictates that monthly withdrawal is required if there's any profit. So this is a type of profit sharing that you will get. Okay, or you will have to share. Okay, so account balance towards the January is 5,000. So profit 5,000, 30% fee is actually 1,500. Sorry, 1,500. Okay, and this is based on the profit sharing of 70% to the client and then 30% to the brokers and reminder or the manager. Okay. So next month, account back to zero because you withdraw this much money. Okay, withdraw all the profits. And then next month, you make another profit of 3,000 ringgit. So this is 3,000. Share 30% to the broker. You have to pay 500. The broker actually will get 900 from 3,000. It's based on the 30%. So if it's 50-50, then you have to split 50-50 lah. Okay. And for March, actually, there's another profit of 2,500. So you share 750 to the broker and you keep the balance. And then April, so first time account losing money. Okay, for the AUM, actually is based on the final asset under management, final value as well. So if the value drops, it's still being charged. Okay. So April, you lose about 1,200, no profit sharing for the reminders and the brokers. Okay, and then next, you make you lost another 300 ringgit, no profit sharing, and then still losing 1,500, no profit sharing here. July, we make 1,200, but actually this one is under the capital, so below the capital. So overall, the account is still losing money. So based on this, the profits is not calculated. So this is just going back into the green territory, still losing money. Okay, so for this much here, there's no profit sharing is can be taken lah. Okay, and then until the balance actually above the required or above your capital. So that's how it works lah. Okay, so once the client actually 99,000 with 800 profit, still zero. And then when it backs to above 100,000 initial capital, so you have 6,000 profit from 99 to 105, right? You have 6,000 profits. Basically, they're going to charge 1,500 based on the 5,000 of profits only. Okay. So this is 30% out of 5,000. Okay. And then the rest is the same lah. All right. So total profits you make is about 31,500. Okay. And then this is the, sorry, it's not the AUM fee, but this is actually the profit sharing. 9,450 ringgit, a portion of the, and then you guys get to keep the balance. Okay. So actually, we have this question here. So which one is actually the best model? Okay. So actually, it depends on the depends on your preference and also depends on the DT program. Okay, some programs actually they offer depends on the program, it offers fee model, strategy, risk, and management to the client, and they are all different. Okay, because the DT is actually very individual, catered to a specifically to the reminder or the DT manager. Okay, as of now, what I was told by the broker we can only have one type of DT for all of the clients. And it depends on the demand, depends on the program itself. Probably we can have a separate individual DT for individual clients. But as of now, the broker actually want to standardize everything first. Okay. So the remiser actually will be coming out with the plan or the strategy and everything, detail about the DT program. And then basically they're going to approve or reject. And then once it's approved, we have to specifically follow this type of plan, because actually, frankly, I think that's better for everyone. We have a standard program that we can follow, and it will be the same for everyone. Okay. So AUM fee model is actually based, might suggest something of a lower risk and long-term investment type of strategy, and it's going to cost you guys less money to have the DT account. Okay. So usually for the AUM type of model, this is not specific. It's not really directly what it is, but this is roughly the framework. Okay. The guidelines or the indication when we use AUM usually is for investing for long term. And then it shouldn't be a lot frequent buy and sell is happening on the DT account. And overall, it's actually probably a bit more safer than the more speculative profit sharing type. Okay. So we have a second one. It's actually the profit sharing model. Based on the profit sharing model, it might suggest that the DT program is actually a bit more riskier, a higher risk type of speculative trading. And probably this one probably will have a bit more or higher cost. So the DT that certain remiser is running probably will have a bit more buying and selling more frequent happen, because this one is actually a type of high risk type of trading. Okay. But still, actually, we can still have a profit sharing model and then investment type. So based on you can have a long-term investment plan, and then the remiser or the DT manager will share the profits based on that investment. Okay. And then the vice versa as well. It could be the both ways. Okay. So yes, profit sharing usually we'll be talking about more frequent trading and then a bit more aggressive type of management. Okay. And then we need to know, based on the agreements, all the fees should be spelled out clearly in the agreement. If you don't have a clear agreement or clear picture of the what type of fee is being charged to your account and everything, you need to clarify that with the remisers or the brokers. Okay. So the one thing that I need to highlight is actually the agreement for DT is actually between you and the broker, not you and the remiser. Okay. So you need to make sure that the agreement spell out the broker's name and everything, and then there'll be person in charge, which is the remiser's name for the DT account. Okay. So what we need to do is actually check the details. Okay. Check with the marketing team whether or actually marketing team or the DT account manager. Okay. And some info might be proprietary. So certain information might be a trade secret or something like that, and please respect the boundaries. So you can ask for the general type of the strategy. What are your the stock universe? What type of stocks that you are going to trade for this DT account? Is it speculative or is it investment type? Is it going for dividends and stuff like that? So you need to make sure whether that product is suitable for you or not lah. So going for a high risk type of aggressive type of DT program actually bit more dangerous lah. So if you have like a lot of money, you can put some in there. But if you're still young, but if you're actually you have a very limited funds, and then I would advise you to go for the investment type and to secure your capital. So go for the safer investments. Okay. All right, so now we are coming into the strategies. The strategies that we can use in the discretionary trading. Okay, just checking the chat section. Okay. All right, so now next, actually, we only have a two type of strategy in DT, in just the general overall strategy, which is the first one is actually for investing, and then the second one is actually trading. All right. So when we talk about investing, actually it involves stock selection of fundamentally strong companies. And then these companies actually very stable. Sometimes it's a REITs type of strategy. So you go for dividends and sometimes you can go for capital gain. So investing is generally regarded as a very safe type of investment. And so you do the study up front about the company, what type of business model that they have, what type of dividends that they are giving out, corporate exercises, do they have any issues with the management, issues with the stocks, or issues within the general community, or maybe sometimes their accounts reporting. So need to check whether everything is okay. And then investing, basically we go for long term. Okay, so we can, for example, everyone know Warren Buffett investing style. So it could be a value investing. It could be investing in types of income dividend investing and many more styles. Okay, so usually we are expecting a bit like 5 years forward. Okay, usually 4 to 5 years horizon. Okay, and then it actually based on usually it's a stable, give it stable returns over the long run, maybe 5 years or more. Okay, so as I said before, the strategy details might be different, okay, and vary upon individual DT programs. Okay, so for strategies that we have, actually DT for investing, who is it for? It's very straightforward. DT for investing, actually for clients who actually wants to have a very safe or safer okay, capital market is not the safest type of investing, but relatively speaking, investing is a lot safer compared to the trading that we do. Okay, so for the clients who prefer stability, lower side of the capital market, they wanted something like an income or dividend, we can go for investing type of strategy. Okay, and then we have a DT in terms of trading strategies. Okay, so trading actually involves more of a speculation approach. Sometimes they trade based on the technical side of the stock, which is this chart. Sometimes it's based on the momentum, price and volume. So sometimes they are riding up on the trend. Okay, sometimes they have positive news. So basically, sometimes they trade based on bad news. So extremely bad news sometimes warrants a technical rebound. So basically, they trade on that. So yes, trading is a bit more risky and a bit more aggressive type of DT approach. Okay, so over here, the governing strategy is actually being approved by the broker. So the remisers or the DT manager will have to comply with the rules that they have set or presented to their brokers. Okay, so yes, typical trading strategies involves charts, news trading. Sometimes they refer to chart patterns. Okay, they use indicators. Okay, sometimes they use proprietary indicators, certain indicators that can give them buy and sell signal. Okay, like our previous DT, we use specific indicator that can tell us when to buy or sell for that specific stock. So basically, they use that as well. And some of the strategies, they use a screener. So this type of screener, maybe it's automated, maybe it's a manual screening processes. They have certain parameters, so they trade the stocks based on that screener. Okay, some DT actually use that, or other technical analysis terms and methodology like maybe Elliott wave or something like that, or maybe Wyckoff method. And sometimes they use a mathematical model approach. So they have certain parameters when the market condition is this way, and then when the stocks behave certain type of giving certain signals, and then they calculate this using mathematical model. So that one as well can be used as long as it is approved by the brokers. Okay, so who is it for this trading? This trading is a bit more higher risk than the investing type. And then for a bit more younger clients, probably they have some money to spend to put in the capital market for a bit more risky products, okay, a bit more risky. And then they have a longer time. I mean, they're still young, they can still work and then get more money later in the future. So they would be suitable type of clients to sign up for a DT in terms of strategies that is using trading. Okay. So, and also for those who actually new to the stock market and then do not have a big, really big capital. Okay. But it is still subjective. Some DT actually require you have a minimum investment amount. Some do have a higher minimum. Okay. And then this strategy as well depends on the individual DT program. Like I said before, sometimes they use strategies, they use screeners. Sometimes they have their own stock universe. They have like 50 or maybe 70 stocks, and then they just focus on trading those stocks. Okay, so it depends. It's actually we need to check with the individual DT. So one thing that you need to know, once you encountered or once you've seen some DT programs, you need to check with the broker. You call up the broker and then check whether whether the broker do have this type of DT or not, because actually scam is everywhere. Once this DT program actually spread into the public, actually the scammer will be taking over. So you guys need to be careful on this. So another approach in the DT is actually, it could be a combination of investing and trading. All right. So for the strategies to be implemented, okay, so a DT, for a DT to be approved, actually they need to be vetted and viewed or reviewed by the management before it's being approved. Okay. So the remiser or the DT account manager actually is required to present the strategies, a very detailed strategy to the management for review and approval. They need to have a back testing data. So that's one thing that my broker actually requested to present. So a back testing data or maybe a forward testing data. So you have a buy signal right now. So you buy, you actually do a paper trading, a forward testing strategies. Forward testing is actually you have do the paper trading. So you buy, you just mark where you buy, and then you follow the stocks for maybe 5 days, 10 days, or whatnot. It depends on your strategy, and then you need to clarify the buy and then the sell signal. Okay, so sometimes the broker is asking for historical portfolio. If you've done this before, this is your own personal strategy without any modification, you have your portfolio, you can present your portfolio as well. So all this information is required before the management approve your strategy. Okay. So point number 2 here, broker side usually typically is involved in reviewing and approve a specific strategy for the DT to ensure the strategies are relevant. Okay, so they are not going to scrutinize or not going, usually they won't tell you this strategy you cannot do and this one high risk and whatnot. So as long as you can prove that this works, actually this one is okay. Okay, but that's you shouldn't be arguing with the brokers. Actually, I'm talking to the remisers. So the broker also might suggest that changes or modification to the strategies as they see fit. Okay, because sometimes the broker usually they have a bit more experience a bit more, a bigger overview, they can see a bigger picture, something like that. So better to hit their suggestions as well. So yeah, but basically they shouldn't be interfering with the overall strategy, so that what if the strategy works, it shouldn't be tampering too much with it. Okay, maybe they're just going to comment in terms of profitability of the clients, in terms of conflict of interest. So let's say if you do too much trading on one account, right, and then the profits basically comes to a very small profit, so there will be the strategy will be questionable as well. Okay. So now point number 5 is actually, why should investor consider Sharia trading discretionary? Okay, Sharia discretionary trading. Sharia discretionary trading specialized, specially formulated for Muslim clients. Okay, and then it can actually allow non-Muslim to trade, to use discretionary trading for Sharia as well, because this product is actually focused on the Sharia stocks. Usually they have less controversies, they have less I mean their own accounts, they have comply to the Sharia standards as well. So basically there's about 800 stocks that is Sharia compliance right now. So technically you can trade almost all the stocks. So it's probably except for banking stocks and also gambling lah. Okay, so Sharia DT is basically simple and straightforward, and you just let the remiser or the broker trade for you. Okay, so if you agree based on their terms and conditions, their products, the specific, the services, the strategies and everything, you can just straight away let them trade for you. Okay, so they are going to focus on Sharia compliant stocks, and also they basically charge, basically follow the Sharia charges lah. Okay, so this activity is actually regulated and transparent activity. So apart from the broker is actually monitoring the remiser trading, there will be a Bursa also will be focusing on your activities as well. So if they see some activities that is actually trying to manipulate the market and whatnot using the discretionary trading account, the remiser will be warned and also penalized. Okay. So like I said before, the trading activities is actually monitored, and this is actually for everyone, for Muslim and non-Muslim. So specifically for Muslim, actually all Muslims can sign up for the Sharia DT, because the stocks universe is all focused on Sharia stocks. So for example, if the stocks actually out from the listed out from the Sharia compliant list, what we can do actually follow the recommended SC Sharia panel. If the stocks actually in profitable status, you can actually you have to sell and then get the profits and then done with it. If the stocks is actually in losing position, you have the option to keep the stocks until you are break even. Okay, so we're going to follow all that details lah. Okay. So again, this is a reminder for everyone to make sure, if you wanted to sign up for a DT product, if you have any, if you encountered some of the DT, check with the broker, call and confirm. Or if you know the remiser, check with the remiser whether this is his product or not. Ensure everything is legal and proper. Okay. You need to verify this one, because sometimes the scammers are everywhere. Okay, once this DT pick up, probably they'll be marketing even faster than the original ones. Okay, they'll be marketing this one faster than the original legal programs. Okay, so you guys need to avoid being scammed and then participate. This is my recommendation. Please participate only with regulated brokers or participating organization, and check the SC website. Okay, so this is to ensure that you have sufficient protection in place. Okay, so this is the capital market. They have the authority, which is the SC Securities Commission, as the authority to actually, they can do up to they have their own acta or acts they can enforce. But if you are being scammed, it's not under SC lah. If you're being scammed, it's under the police, and then you have to go through either the tribunal, the consumer tribunal, or maybe just to the court lah. But if the scammer is not being caught, there's nothing you can do. Okay, so have the proper protection, go with the legal and regulated brokers. So this one here is actually a slide for the remisers who are attending the session. A general guideline for you guys, for the remisers to start a DT, first you have to contact your broker, okay, and ask them, let them know that you want to do the DT for your clients. Actually, you need to have at least one client that interested to do the DT for you. Okay, so you cannot have a DT program and then no one sign up. Okay, so a second one is actually to have a minimum of 5 years of experience in the capital market. So this one here is actually a regulation by the SC lah. Okay, so if you are 6 years old, 10 years old, experience, 10 years experience with the within the capital market, actually you are more than qualified to start a DT, provided we have a proper and really detailed strategy. Okay. And then point number 3, you need to have a sound and a complete and also proven strategy in hand. So that's why they're gonna need back testing data, or they have you can hand them forward testing data and also historical portfolio if there's any. So you need to somehow show that this one here is actually working okay. So it doesn't need to have a perfect score, or you need to gain you have gained like 50 or 100% over the last year. Now actually you just need to prove that strategy works. That's it. Okay, so you can sign NDA with the broker if applicable. If your strategy is really really detailed, and then it's a trade secret for you, okay, so you can sign an NDA. But usually if it's just if you have an indicator, specific indicator that you use, probably you don't have to sign an NDA, because this strategy, the indicator is yours. They don't really have to know the details of that indicator. You just need to know whether that indicator works or not. All right. So you need to come up with a complete all the backtesting data to back up your strategy. Okay, so point number 4 actually point number 4, discuss all the possible scenarios for the strategy. So extreme worst case scenario, best case scenario, and everything in between. Entry, exit, maximum profit. Sorry, no maximum profit, but maximum loss scenario. Okay, so where is the signal sell? Where is the buy signal? Okay, what are the scenarios? When there's a corporate exercise or stock adjustment, what's going to happen? Something like that. So everything. So you need to ensure that all the strategies are being cleared, all the scenarios are being covered. Of course, we cannot cover everything. Sometimes we do have hindsight, something that we are not aware or have not encountered before. We don't have any experience. So those will be taken case by case, I believe, towards a broker. Okay. So we also need to discuss in detail about the DT program. What is the benchmark performance? So let's say your DT is actually you focus on trading small caps stocks, right? So you are going to benchmark with the small cap index. Okay, so if you're investing the 30 big companies in Malaysia, or maybe investing in technology companies, for example, for the DT focused on technology companies. Okay, so you have to benchmark, or you can benchmark against the technology sector index. Okay, it depends. So it's very open as of now, because right now there's not many remisers who's doing the DT. So the regulation is actually quite open and flexible. Okay, once we have more remisers signing up doing the DT, probably we are going to encounter more issues and concerns. So they're going to address it later. Okay. So yes, discuss the details of the DT. Capital management, of course, that's very important. For example, for my DT, they do ask, what is the maximum exposure for one stocks? Are you going to buy 100% of that, of the capital, or are you going to limit maybe 30% or 50%? Okay, so you need to clarify that as well. So if let's say your DT minimum investment is like 10,000 ringgit, for example, okay, so for 10,000 ringgit, usually you would buy only one stocks. Okay, so that generalization about half of the capital cannot be invested, something like that, is actually a need to be discussed further lah. So that's why I told you that we need to clarify. We need to clarify individual scenario so that we can be very clear with the brokers. So they also ask about the scenario whereby the clients want to top up the account and also withdrawal scenario. Okay, risk management, how much risk you are going to take before you do the cut loss and everything. Okay, some brokers probably might be going for a higher requirement, and that depends. Okay. So we can also need to discuss about the brokerage. Okay, sometimes the brokerage will be same as the online rate, and sometimes will be higher. It depends what you want. Okay, and then we need to engage with the relevant stakeholders, definitely, with especially with the authorities and also the association. Some of the association that we know is actually Persatuan Remiser Bumi Putra. So if you are Bumi Putra Remiser, you can engage with them to get more info or guidance, or you have a certain requirements that the broker is actually you are not sure about that, you can just check with the stakeholders. Okay. And then okay, so that's it for our session today. I guess if we have any question, we can send the question in, and I pass to Shane for now. Shane, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Kamarul, for sharing with us about overview of Sharia discretionary trading. So wow, today we learned a new thing in this trading. So if you have a need to let your remisers to help you to run the specific strategies on your behalf, then you can consider to engage a remiser who has a license to do DT. Okay, so if you have any questions to ask our speaker today, you may write them at the Q&A box, not the chat box. Okay, write them at the Q&A box. We'll address them accordingly. Right, the first question is, Kamarul, just now you talk about AUM fee, right? Is it fixed at 5% per annum, or it can vary depending on the arrangement with the broker?
Okay, the AUM actually it depends on the program. So that 5% is actually just an example. So it could be as high as 50% as far as I know. But yeah, I'm not aware of any limits that they can charge as of now. But yes, AUM is basically a fee. But it needs to be competitive, lah, of course. So if it's not competitive, people won't sign up anyway. Okay. So yeah, we need to check individually.
What is the fee that is being charged by M Plus? Is it the same across all DT account manager in M Plus, or everybody is different?
Everybody is different. So let's say if we have like 3 remisers doing their own DT, right? So each individual DT program will have different strategies, different rates, different charges, and different I don't know, probably investing or strategy or trading, or maybe both. Jadi it's very open and very individual DT. So for example, I have my own DT which go for profit sharing, and then there's a few more, at least one more upcoming that I'm aware of that is still in the pipeline, go for AUM. Okay, so it's really flexible and different between one program DT to the other under the same broker.
Okay, so everyone charges and fee could be slightly different. Okay, but how
Correct.
about for one person? Let's say, I want to run my DT program. Can I charge client A 5% AUM, I charge client B 4% AUM, I charge client C 30% profit sharing, I charge client D 20% profit sharing. I mean, can my fee varies between clients?
Okay, so based on my discussion with the broker previously, they only allow one type of DT for now, because this one here actually, if we have multiple DT for one remiser, there might be a mix up or certain issues. So as of now, one remiser, only one DT program, and it's all standard. So a different remiser, they can have their own preference.
So they have to pick one strategy lah. They only present one strategy, whether it's investing or trading, and pick one, whether it's AUM or whether it is profit sharing basis, right?
Correct.
So that's
So
what your broker practices.
yes, yes.
Okay. Thanks, Kamarul. So the next question is, which other brokers offer discretionary trading and Shariah discretionary trading besides Malacca Securities that you know?
Okay, so as far as I know, actually, only Malacca Securities offer this type of Shariah discretionary trading accounts. So I'm not aware of any, because this is actually quite new. Last year, 2 years ago, 2022, Malacca Securities on board this DT program, and then I haven't heard any new DT program since, because doing the DT is very complicated ventures, and then usually the brokers do not want to take any chances lah.
All right. Thanks, Kamarul. So is derivative trading allowed in DT?
Okay, derivatives as in futures market is right now it's not allowed.
Not allowed.
My broker only focused on
Securities.
equity. But actually derivatives in terms of like warrants, call warrants, structured warrants, and everything, derivatives like that. I think is not allowed for Sharia DT specific for me, but I think it's very customizable. If let's say if you have a DT program that wants to focus on high risk type of trading, they want to focus on warrants trading, I think if the broker allows it, then yes, it's possible to do so. It depends on the broker. It's very flexible as of now, but not the futures market. No.
So conventional discretionary trading allows the use of warrants in the strategies. Am I right?
Yes, I believe so.
So
But
Sharia does not allow because warrants are not Sharia compliant.
some warrants are not. So last time in our DT, they allowed to trade warrants, but they do not focus on that, because a warrant a bit more riskier type of instrument.
Okay, I see. So it also depends on the broker discretion, whether
Correct.
your broker allows it or not, because it is depend on the risk management.
Yes, yes, that's right.
So as a client, can we ask the DT account manager to show us, their back test strategy, forward test result, as well as their historical portfolio performance so far?
I believe you can. I would share the data, the back testing data lah. I would share, because strategy that I'm using is basically using my screener. Okay, but you have to know that the strategy, the back testing data is in no way representing the future performance. Okay, so you can see probably the data, the back testing data, all good, and then suddenly the market turns to the worst side, and then the performance is not as expected based on the backtesting data, because yeah, backtesting data or historical data is exactly that. It is history. So what we need to focus on is actually the future. So you cannot simply rely on the backtesting data to conclude that this one is okay and that one is not okay now. But of course, I don't see any issues if the reminder is actually marketing the data, marketing the DT. I don't see any issues if you're asking for the backtesting data. Yeah, why not?
Okay, yeah, good. So there's some transparency for us to know, whether we are convinced by the historical performance, so whether we can assess the performance in the
The
past.
strategies, yes.
Yeah. The next question is by Ahmad Danish Mashafizi. Are there any specific minimum capital to start DT?
Okay, yes. Usually the broker would be setting up a minimum capital investment scenario. Yes. Uh, Previously it was 30,000 for Shariah DT. And then I think recently for myself it's 50,000. And then I do believe that the others probably will have varies lah. Maybe they can set 10,000 ringgit, 50,000 ringgit, 100,000, depends on the remiser. So it's very, very open and flexible. But yes, they do have a minimum investment amount.
Mm. You're saying previously it was 30,000, now it becomes 50,000, is it?
Yes, 30,000 is under a different remiser lah.
So
And
is Sharia DT and conventional DT's minimum capital is the same?
not necessarily. It depends on the program itself. Yes. So if the broker say allow 10,000 ringgit, then yes, you can start with 10,000 ringgit, not less.
But it also depends on the remiser, right? Remiser
Yes,
say
correct.
10,000 is too little for me. I don't want to start.
Correct. Because with a smaller amount, actually you are facing a bigger risk. You don't have any room to make mistakes for a small account.
So so let's say, so the next question is by Wendy. How many clients to be managed by each remiser or each DT account manager? Is there any limit to how many they can handle?
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. I think this one here, the question is how many clients can a remiser take up? As of now, actually, I don't think there's any limit, a physical limit or as per required by the regulation, how many remiser you can take up, how many clients can a remiser take up. But what we have, probably the limitations that we have right now is probably the system. So if the system that we have is actually manual key order buy and sell, there will be a very limited amount of clients that can participate under that DT. So personally, I'm just sharing my experience. A maximum for me, probably a maximum of 10 clients. So if let's say if I have 100 clients, because my strategy is actually trading type of strategy. So we're gonna have a lot more active buying and selling. So I cannot really buy and sell for 10 clients almost at the same time, right? So there will be slight differences. Some account will be buying a bit higher price and some account will be buying at the low price. Same thing as the selling as well. So the limitations actually, I believe there's no regulation in terms of how many clients that you can handle, but it's more of a physical limitation or the system limitation. For a DT program that have a very long horizon, that maybe an investing type of DT. Okay, so a clients probably buy and sell maybe once or twice a year. Okay, it depends. So maybe the clients deposit, they straight away buy the account, and then that type of DT, probably that remiser can handle maybe 100 of them, maybe 200, 300. I think that's not a big issue. But for the trading type, it's going to be a bit more restrictive unless you have a system whereby you can, like a fund manager, you can have a system whereby when you click buy, and then all this account that tag to this system actually are going to buy at the same time. So it depends. That right now there's no limit.
I see. So does the system allow you to place um place order on behalf of 10 clients at the same time, or you have to log in, log out 10 times?
The system that is in the market right now, or the brokers are using, some brokers are using, actually it allows you to key in the order, just press once, and then they're gonna uh
Executed at all accounts.
yeah, something like that, yes.
Okay, I see.
But some brokers do not have that, so you have to set the buy and sell manually one by one.
Oh yeah, that would be very time consuming. If you're doing like scalping or intraday, then
Yeah,
it's very
so
hard
that's
for
why you
you
cannot
to.
have that many clients. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be
You can fire
responsible
an
lah.
order and go to all the accounts. Then I think it is much efficient.
I would prefer a very small amount of client, because there'll be really less work in terms of the because if you do trading, it'll be the same buy and sell, same signal. So if you have 10 clients or 100 clients, it will be the same, but you have to do 100 times of the same thing compared to just one or two, maybe 10.
Mm, okay. Yeah. Zam make a comment to say that you can use a function of a basket order available at Bursa Malaysia. Kindly check with your broker. Yeah. Zam made a
Yes,
comment. Yeah.
but no, actually my broker do not have that.
Oh, yeah, brokers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me see. The next question is, what is the underlying assets mixture that is allowed by the DT framework?
um Assets. It's very flexible. It depends on the agreement between the remiser and the broker. So if that DT is actually wants to focus on the equity or the stocks, or maybe they limit their stocks universe or the stock selection to probably FBM 70, maybe, or maybe top 100 stocks in Bursa based on market cap. So that's their limit lah. Basically, they're going to focus on that. They're going to buy and sell based on that 100 stocks. They cannot buy penny stocks, because they specify the strategy that they focus on 100 stocks, basically. So they need to follow that.
Yep. Can they do like investment in lead market whereby you need the requirement of sophisticated investor?
Yes. So sorry, I don't think they allow for the lead market, because specifically they just open for um ace market and main market at the moment. But uh, if any remisers that is interested, or maybe you're as a client, you're interested to invest in a lead market companies, probably you can approach your remiser to do this type of DT, and then discuss with him, and then he can present that strategy to the management. So let's see if that's get approved lah.
All right. So from your experience, what are the common strategies employed by the DT account manager um, in your firm?
Okay, so as far as I know, there are two types lah. One is actually focused on the capital gain but long term. So they select really good companies based on the financial, based on the business model, based on the analyst trend forecast of the future sectors and profitable industries in the future, and then they focus on that. So they go for long term. So that one, I think, is quite similar to a fund management companies. And then there's another type of strategy, actually trading using indicators. And then the one that I'm using is actually using my technical screener. So focus on the buy and sell based on the buy and sell stocks that listed in my screener. Okay, so those two are the most common ones. Usually one with the indicators, probably a bit more common compared to the screener type.
So the indicator type has more demand from the clients?
Regular, yeah, people get use that approach a bit more because my focus actually using the normal trading strategy, normal technical strategy, but I have a special selection for uh, the screener. They have special criteria. So the advantage is actually the screening process.
Thanks, Kamarul. So, what are the risks associated with discretionary trading for Malaysian investors?
Wow. Okay. So the common risk is actually performance. So it's very obvious. If the market actually going down, it's very difficult for DT to be profitable. So I'm talking about just general overall market is going down. It's very difficult for the any common DT to perform. But in the it depends. Some of the remisers, sometimes probably they're very good traders. They do in the bearish market, probably they have to do short-term trading lah, and then a bit more speculative. So maybe they can outperform the normal benchmark. By far or not, I don't know. It depends.
All right. I see. Thanks, Kamaru. I see a questions from Wendy, but I don't really get you. Could you rephrase your questions a little bit?
Ah,
Yeah. Could you rephrase the questions? We'll come back to your questions later. Yeah. Um, so which regulatory bodies oversees discretionary trading activities in Malaysia?
so we have Bursa and also SC. SC is just come up with a rough idea lah. I believe they're gonna enforce that. And then whatever reporting that we do have to go through Bursa. So
All
those
right.
are the only two regulatory bodies, which is the authorities that governs our capital market.
So for the paperwork, is your broker help you to do, right? You as an account manager, you don't have to do much, right?
Yes, in terms of the reporting, because that's a very tedious job of the reporting standards that I've seen in the guidelines, right? Actually, the broker will be taking up the portions of that reporting, so we can focus on the to do just the trading or the buy and sell for the clients.
I see. That is great. So that it won't take up too much of your time to do reporting, but no time to see the market.
Correct. Yeah, I think the reporting is very tedious.
Yeah.
So a good thing that the broker helped me to do that.
So just now you were saying that there are a lot of this kind of arrangement between reminder and the clients to help them run their strategies, and they are not under DT. So what is I'm not sure if you are aware, what is the penalty? This is I think you imply that this is unlawful, right? Because that require a license. So what is the penalty if, it is caught, and does it usually favor the client side or favor the reminder side?
Even though you have an agreement, a proper agreement with the remiser. Okay, so the client have a proper agreement with the remiser. That agreement actually is not applicable because what we are dealing with is actually the capital market which have a different set of regulation. So if this one here is not being governed by the capital markets authorities, then it will be under the police or under the you can go to court and then claim under criminal or commercial crime or something like that, right? But this is actually is governed under the capital market. So that type of agreement is not valid lah. And then in terms of the punishment, I think I'm not aware what are the punishment, but I think it's very severe because we as the capital market representative should be always governed by the regulation, should honor that lah. So if we purposely violate that, because we are being trusted by our clients, right? So if we purposely violate that, hefty penalty is being will be executed lah, something like that.
All right. Thanks, Kamaru. So the next question is by Wendy. She is asking, how frequent do you carry out your research work? Do you have any recommendation on the source of information where we can do research, like any company website or news that we should we should work on in our research? And what are the differences between the price level that we can see as a client ourselves, like the market depth, or versus you as a market? How many market depth can you see if we entrust you to run the DT?
Okay. So let me answer the last question first about the market depth. Actually, for the remiser platform, normally you would see like 5 levels, just like everyone else lah. But in the platform as well, you can check on the Q analysis. You can see all 20 levels of market depth. You can see 10 levels of buy and then 10 levels of sell. So it's not on the dashboard, but it's in the Q analysis function, specifically for Excel Force platform. So yes, you can see that. There's no problem for you to access that info. Maybe the broker will be restricting some of that function, and then probably you have to subscribe, because those kind of data actually you have to pay. The brokers have to pay some price to subscribe to that kind of data. So yes, if you want those kind of price levels, you can subscribe if the broker offering it, or you have the option to subscribe to other charting platforms or charting or software providers, like TradingView or some other Bursa Station, Share Investor. So they have, if you subscribe to that, like pick a stock, something like that, if you subscribe to that, to their package, right, you can see all 20 levels. Means that 20 levels of buy and 20 levels of sell. So those are not exclusive access. It's just that you need to subscribe to it lah. So there's no difference between the price levels that we see. Probably in terms of execution for the remisers side, maybe they're going to have a dedicated line or route, order route for certain platforms. Okay, like the normal ones that I use is just through the normal platform lah, normal remiser platform, but they have another access which is called the I can't remember what is the name, but actually a special platform whereby you log in, and then you get a direct line of execution straight to the Bursa without going through any other servers lah. So but that platform actually you need to pay a monthly fee for that. So I don't use that because normal connection is already good enough for me. So and Shane, what is the first question just now? How
Yeah,
many
the
time
first
research,
question
right?
was, how frequent do you do your research? And is there what are the sites that you can recommend us to do the research? For instance, the website, where are the news portal where we can refer to for us
Okay.
to carry out our research work?
Okay. So I most of the time, for my own trading and also for the DT, I don't really use fundamentals or do much research, because what I do is basically focus more on the trading. So I keep up to date with the news, and then basically that's it. So you need to aware some of the stocks, you need to aware their earnings pattern. So you don't have to go and study every day. So because earnings actually comes every 2 or 3 months, right? So you just need to be aware what are the past year's performance, how the earnings pattern, and then you can expect good or bad for this company. You can anticipate lah. So that's one thing. I don't do that much research, but some of my friends who's actually trying for DT and then do the investing, right? So they focused on future. They read a lot of journals. They read a lot of website that shares information like Bloomberg and something like that, you know, that kind of level, they try to foresee the future trends. So become a, actually he's actually aspiring to become a fund manager lah. So yeah, he loves that type of research. So he's focused on that. But for me, I more on the trading side. So the main platform that I use for my trading is actually pickstock.info lah. So that platform actually for me is it's a complete platform. So you have a proper charting, a very nice one, and then you have your own custom screener. You can do your screener right there. Of course, you cannot create your own indicators, but yes, you can ask them to create for you, or you can also refer any news, earnings pattern, fundamentals. They are complete in there. So yeah, you can get more info if you go to the website.
Thanks, Kamaru. So if any question to ask our speaker, please write them at the Q&A box. Yeah, we have a couple of minutes left. So, Kamaru, what types of financial instruments are prohibited in Sharia discretionary trading?
What type of what?
Financial instruments
That's allowed?
that are prohibited, not allowed.
Oh, okay. Prohibited. I know that we shouldn't be trading structured warrants and all the structured warrants is not allowed. All the banking and gaming stocks is not allowed. Those are, if you are a manager that is really careful with your with the DT that you run, you might want to avoid scandalous and also controversial companies as well, even though they are Sharia compliant companies. There's a I don't know, there's a point in Sharia whereby actually you need to avoid all these controversial companies, companies that probably is more interested in scamming the investors or something like that. Most of them are like penny stocks companies. So even though they are Sharia compliance, actually some of them are, I don't know lah. The market say they are giving bad intentions, so maybe they just want to scam investors' money, like issuing rights issues or something like that, right? So even though they are Sharia compliance, they are not really properly proper Sharia companies lah. So you might want to avoid that kind of companies as well.
All right, I see. Thanks. So before we conclude the sessions, the last question here is, what advice do you want to give to us if we want to try out discretionary trading or Sharia discretionary for the first time?
Okay, so if you guys want to sign up for discretionary trading, first of all, I think you need to check with the broker and then the reminder whether this kind of discretionary trading is suitable for you or not. Because actually you need to be careful. What you want, what we want is sometimes it's not necessarily the best for us. So sometimes certain people cannot tolerate big losses. They want big gains, but they cannot tolerate losses. So actually what's suitable for this type of people is an investing type of DT, which is safer than the trading strategies. And then we need to make sure that the past performance, sometimes I've seen, I can tell sometimes we can have a lot of fake performance. So you need to ensure that we know or we're aware that past performance actually do not guarantee the future performance. So you cannot use that as a reference. But you can just talk to the reminder and the broker about what their strategies are, how are they doing, and then what market conditions are they perform, and then they do not perform, all those things. So you need to be aware lah. And then make sure that you do not have unrealistic expectations. That is one thing is very important.
All right. So must have realistic expectations so that you don't be, overly greedy and expect a lot of return from
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah from the DT program. Okay.
Yeah, for the marketing side of also need to be careful not to promise too high lah. I mean not to promise extreme good results and something like that. Need to be very open and transparent as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Kamarul Nizam, for sharing with us about overview of Sharia discretionary trading. So, ladies and gentlemen, you just listened to reminders of Malacca Securities, who is Kamarul Nizam, who is allowed to perform discretionary trading on behalf of clients. Thank you so much, Kamarul.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
All right. So for those of you who haven't checked out Bursa Academy, you can visit www.bursaacademy.bursamarketplace.com, or you may scan the QR code here to take you to the website. It is a comprehensive one-stop e-learning platform that aims to provide investors with a continuous and holistic learning journey. It is simplified, it is user-friendly, and it is accessible anywhere, anytime at your own pace. So you can go there to visit the website. On this Bursa Academy, you have a lot of investing knowledge for you, be in the form of articles, videos, or recordings, or free events like webinars that you can attend, or coursework or e-learning that you can take to enhance your knowledge about the market, about the product, about the strategies, about risk management, about portfolio management, investor psychology management, and market unload, stuff like that, right? So there are plenty of information that you can get to empower you to become an informed investor. So just head over to Bursa Academy to find out more. One thing to highlight to you is that there's also this tool called My Bursa who is launched not too long ago. So My Bursa is also it's a design for retail investors to empower you with the data of the market so that you can gain insights of the market right now. You can use various tools offered by My Bursa, which are Screener or heat map, and other digital research report they can refer to, IPO fact sheet, and a lot of this content that you can find on My Bursa. So you can go to bursamalaysia.com and you just look at the top right corner. There's this red color button, My Bursa. You can go explore and sign up an account under My Bursa. For our next webinar, it is titled Pelaburan Dividend 101, right? So it's happening on next Monday, 29th of July 2024 from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're keen to learn how do you build consistent passive income stream through dividends, please register for the next webinar session with us. So as the title suggests, it is going to be conducted in BM. All right. So for those of you who not have a CDS account, or you're keen to open a new one, you may scan the QR code and then we'll do our best to match you with your preferred broker. All right. Or click the link that we just sent to you. So with that, I want to thank you for staying tuned until the end of this webinar. Hope that we have gained insights into discretionary trading program as well as Sharia discretionary trading program, so that you can assess, is this program suitable for you or not. Okay, would you want to sign up with your reminders who can offer this service to you? If yes, you may explore. All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Hope to see you in our next webinar. All right. Bye-bye.